Trifecta Handgun.
Focus. Laffy Taffy. What you might not know is there is actually 2 jokes on each package or serving. They call it a serving or a package? Doesn't say. Has a lot of bad ingredients in it. Anyway, you are going to get 2 of these for every Handgun Rest order for 2023. And every video you watch, at the end, I'm going to tell 2 jokes off of one of these packages. So stay tuned till the end. No scrolling ahead. State law. All right, so I wasn't completely honest with you guys last year when I was making videos in the spring, summer, and early fall. I knew from the get-go I was going to be using this HoloSun 509T and my Smith and Wesson M&P 2.0 and 10mm. So my goal was not only to hunt with that gun, but I wanted to do it from my climbing tree stand with the brand new Ambush Handgun Rest on a monopod. A very lightweight setup, perfect for tree stand hunting. Let's talk about the optic for a second. I knew during hunting season you can get snow, sleet, any type of debris down in there. And since this is a closed emitter optic, it has a piece of glass along the back there, preventing any of that stuff getting in front of the emitter and therefore blocking you from being able to use this sight. Opening day last year in Indiana proved to be a perfect scenario for this optic. When I first got to my stand, it was raining, that turned to sleet, and later on that turned to snow. You can see by the pictures here, it actually was snowing pretty hard most of the morning. So my handgun rest was completely snow covered. I had to keep brushing it off, and I also had to keep clearing my optic off. The nice thing is, all I had to do is take my finger and brush anything that was on there off. I didn't have to get a stick and try to dig around in there to clear the debris. And I also didn't have to take any extra precaution to try to keep snow and all that from getting in. So that was really cool. And I'm glad I did get that closed emitter optic. So opening day was pretty slow for the most part. I did hear a gunshot at about 11:30, and 2 or 3 minutes later, I saw this deer headed my direction. Actually, it was right there when I saw it, about 25 yards away, and it was moving directly across. So I had just a few seconds to set up and take the shot. Now, I wouldn't say the deer was running, but it was moving at a pretty good pace, kind of jumping over things. It didn't want to be around. It was trying to get somewhere else. Now, I thought this was a doe and ended up being a small spike, but I ended up taking the shot nonetheless. So my first question for you guys, a 25-yard shot with the gun I just showed you, is that an easy shot? Can you make it every time? So my parameters, if you watched my videos last year with this gun, I had to hit a 5-inch group. Can you hit a 5-inch group every time at 25 yards with no rest? Now I know I'm a little bit biased. I'm a rest maker. I sell rest for part of my living. So I admit I'm biased, and I also know this is a sample size of 1. So let's add a couple more factors to it. But I want to know from you guys. I'm going to guess 90% of you, whether you're experienced or not, are going to say, yeah, that's an easy shot. I can hit a deer every time where I need to at 25 yards. Let's add some factors to it. It was cold out that day. My fingers were, I wouldn't say numb, but they weren't feeling perfect. Factor in also that this is a moving 25-yard target. It just got shot at. It was moving right along. So can you hit a target moving at a moderate pace? Also factor in there's a time issue. I had to get my gun out and ready to go. Now, as we all know, we don't like to admit to it, there's a little bit of nervousness that comes with taking an animal's life. So there's that also factored in. Now, before I made this video, I went to my second story office. I have a fence in my backyard that's about the same exact distance as the deer was, and I just held my gun out straight with no rest, and I wanted to see exactly how much wobble I had, like aiming at a knot or something in the fence. And I'm gonna guess it was about 2.5 inches is where I could keep that red dot on the target on the fence. What I think the bigger factor might be is trigger control. Yeah, you might be able to hold it on the deer, but when you go to make the shot, there's going to be a tendency to milk that trigger and pull down. So with the rest, you cannot milk that trigger because the rest is actually holding that gun in place. So I want to know your thoughts on all that. To me, it helped me, but I don't know. I'd like to know what everybody else thinks, especially if you've had experience doing the same thing. Now, I'm still glad that I took the rest with me because it was a 50-yard setup that I put myself in. So anything farther than 25 yards, I'm really happy that I had the rest. So now that I know that it worked, I'm going to just incorporate this in my arsenal. It's just one more thing that I can do. So when I see a setup that's 50 yards or less, and I want to use a tree stand, I know exactly how I'm going to do it. Okay, time for your Laffy Taffy twofer. That's what we're going to call this, Laffy Taffy twofer. Mix them up real good. Ooh, green, I like green. And here is our jokes, the Laffy Taffy twofer. What type of fly loves bread? A butterfly. Okay, joke number 2. What bow cannot be tied? A rainbow. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, for every handgun rest you buy, you're going to get 2 pieces of candy, 4 jokes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Handgun Hunters International is your online resource for everything handgun hunting. If you love to read, The Six Gunner is an online magazine focusing on everything from guns to destinations. If you have a question, jump on the paid forum and get your answer from one of the industry-leading experts. And now, Ryan started a podcast called The Short Gun Sportsman. Maybe best of all, you can win cool monthly prizes including guns, optics, heck, we even gave away a handgun rest. Go to Handgun Hunters International right now and join for a low monthly or annual fee.